Welcome to another segment of our holiday lesson. Last time we were discussing summary and comprehension, and I told you there are distinct differences between comprehension exercise and summary exercise. I told you that you can copy or lift from the passage for a comprehension answer. You can lift provided your answer is correct. However, in summary, you do not lift. And I gave you the reasons for that. There are three reasons. The first is the examiner wants to know whether you can read and understand any given passage. Then secondly, whether you can pick out points and details in the passage. And then lastly, your level of English. He wants to know your level of English. And so any answer you are given must be in your own vocabulary, your level of vocabulary competence. The way you speak, the much you speak, is what you will use to discuss. I gave you some examples about summary. Now, one thing that WAEC does not penalize you for, in comprehension, you can use phrases, provided your answers are correct. But in summary questions or answers, your answers must be in complete correct sentence. It must be in complete correct sentence. And so, any error in mechanical accuracy is ranked, and any error in expression is underlined. So, today I want to remind you that in your summary answers, if you use too many words, you will lose mark. Because any irrelevant word, half mark will be deducted for the use of it. And then secondly, if you give any answer in phrases, you lose half of the mark for that question. So your answer must be in complete sentences. And another thing is, do not engage in lifting or copying from the given passage. Do not copy from the given passage. You must use your own words. You must use your own words. However, you may lift words or phrases that are appropriate from the passage, but you must not copy the whole sentence. Okay? So today, in continuation of the summary and comprehension, I want us to discuss word substitution word substitution in comprehension. In the exam, you are given about 5 or 6 words, and you will be asked to give another word or phrase which can replace a given word, that very given word, as it is used in the passage. Now, one thing about that question is every word in English has so many different meanings. And so words in English will be used according to the contextual meaning. Contextual meaning means the meaning of that word in the context in which it is used in that passage. So when you go to the dictionary to lift the meaning of any word, you will be making mistake. Because the meaning of that word might not be the dictionary meaning. So, in English, most words have meanings that can be used. They have many meanings that can be used in different ways to mean different things. A word might mean something in one context, and when used in another context, its meaning changes. So be careful for that. Okay, let's take, for instance, look at this word or this phrase, taken out. When you look at this, taken out has so many meanings. It can mean to bring something into open, or remove something from another thing, or to have somebody as your companion, or to obtain something officially. So what you have to do is to consider how is this phrase used in the passage. It is how it is used that will give you the real meaning of this. And then you can now know the word to use. Okay, let's take this example. When you say as early as my 3rd year in secondary school, as early as my 3rd year in secondary school, comma, I had gone and taken out a driver's license. So in this sentence, this will be underlined or written in italics for you to give another word that can possibly replace it. And when you look at this context, taken out means obtained. It means obtained. It is not removed from. It cannot mean removed from. So when you are given such words, you don't use the dictionary to look out for the meanings. Okay? So one thing about this, there are at least 3 rules about this. The first rule is the word you will use to replace this must be in the same part of speech. Must be in the same part of speech as the word being substituted. They must be the same. And in most cases, the word or the phrase that is always given to you is either noun, verb, verb phrase, adjective, or adverb. These are the parts of speech you are being asked to replace. So when the word is a noun, you make sure you use a noun to replace it. When the word is a verb, you make sure you use the verb to replace it. And if it is an adverb, you use an adverb to replace it. If it is an adjective, you use an adjective to replace it. Then, the second one is the tense. The tense must be the same. The tense of the word you are replacing and the one you are using to replace it must be the same. Here we said this is obtained, because if you have this sentence, he ruminated on his personal experience he ruminated on his personal experience with his boss, who sacked him for refusing to accept bribe. Look at this. Ruminated has a lot of meanings that will be appropriate to replace it. Now this is a verb and it is in the simple past tense. There are some of the words you can use. For instance, if you use think over, which is wrong, think, cogitate, deliberate, meditate, ponder. There are so many of them, or you can say reflect. If you use these words, they mean the same thing with this, but your answer is wrong. Because this is in simple past tense, while all these are in simple present tense. And so the answer you will use to substitute this word must be in simple past tense. So here, if you have meditated, pondered, reflected, deliberated, cogitated, and then here you have thoughts. This is wrong, and this is wrong. You have thoughts over. So when you are told to replace this one, look for a word that will completely replace it as it is used. Remember that the tense of the word you are replacing must be the same with the tense of the words you are using. They should be the same. And so, like we have said, we said that the first one is, if this is a verb, you must use a verb to replace it. If this is an adjective, you must use an adjective to replace it. Remember, you are given either a noun, a verb, an adverb, verb phrase, or an adjective to replace. So, they must tally with the word you are replacing. And so finally, the number must be the same. So three things are being expected from you: tense, part of speech, and number. And you know that when we talk of number in English language, we mean singular or plural. So if the word is in plural form, you must use a plural to replace it. If the word is in singular form, you must use the singular to replace it. Okay? That is for the comprehension word substitution. And I hope you have learned how to do it. Remember, do not go to the dictionary for the meaning of the word. You will be flawed. You cannot make it. And so, I will give you some exercise. One will be on word substitution, and the other will be on summary. Okay? So let's start with a summary exercise. There are about 7 questions in the summary exercise. And so, here is the exercise. In 6 sentences. Remember that when you are asked in 6 sentences to write down something, it means use simple sentence. Don't go for complex sentence. Use very simple sentence. Okay? One for each use. one for each use. Summarize the uses of dog. 2. To man. Summarize the uses of dog. 2. Man in the following sentences. So you do this on your own, and I will supply you the answers whenever we meet. One, polar explorers have used dog trains to pull sledges which glide smoothly on ice. 2, while not primarily a beast of burden, the dog could be used for transportation. Three, like most carnivores, the dog hunts other animals but unlike others, it hunts not for himself, but for man. The dog eagle wages man's war against enemies, the criminals. it undergoes rigorous training that makes it an asset in fighting crimes. Get outside at night it guards the door warding off thieves. And other suspicious elements. And then finally, during wars, the dog is used to spy okay? So when you look at this, in a passage, you might have 8 answers in the passage, but you must stick to instruction. Only 6 has been required from you. And so even if you have 10 answers, you are only to pick 6. Okay? So I will give you an example with any of either the first one or the second one. In summary, if you are told to summarize number 2, number 2 says, while not primarily a beast of burden, the dog could be used for transportation. And you have been told to summarize this in 6 sentences, meaning 6 simple sentences, very short sentences. So the answer to number 2 is, the dog is used for transportation. That is all. Anything above that, you will lose mark. Any relevant word you use in summary, you are losing a mark. WAEC does not allow irrelevancies. So, as you have seen this, let's take the word substitution. I'm cleaning this. I hope you have taken them down. Let's look at word substitution. I'll give you an exercise on that. Word substitution. So that you start practicing. Once it becomes part of you, you won't have problem in the exam. The exam will be a walkover. Okay? So we have finished the summary, and then let's pick the word substitution. Okay? The question is, find another word or phrase which will completely replace the underlined words. Number one, find a word to replace this. The crowd that had gathered, were fascinated by all his lies about me. Each member of the family has to cooperate so as to achieve the goal of the family. Without cooperation, this will have adverse effects and lastly, okay, get the words to replace the underlined words. Until when next we meet, thanks for listening.